I remember hearing all offseason about this weak Patriots secondary and how none of these guys are big names. They let J.C. Jackson walk, and my take on it was, I trust Bill Belichick. He's going to figure it out. Let him do his thing. I'm sure that he will be, if he and I disagree about a cornerback, he is correct and I am wrong. So I just trusted that this would work out, and, well, this is it absolutely working out. Now, I was wrong about the Patriots in other areas. I thought their offense would be a lot better, but that's a conversation for another day. Let's talk about this secondary, this defense, and how they shut out the top scoring offense in football, and not just total points, but in points per drive. The Lions were doing fantastic, and then they get shut out. I believe this is the first time week 5 or later the number one scoring offense got shut out. I think I heard that stat somewhere. I might be wrong. I don't know. Someone fact check that for me. But just a crazy good game for the Patriots. Let's talk about what happened. And yeah, I'm talking about secondary because it all starts with secondary. Belichick always puts his emphasis on secondary, and I mean, his guys are covering great right now. This is a man coverage play with a single safety deep, and one thing I talk about is that if you can't get guys open against this type of coverage, you're going to have a really difficult time consistently moving the football, and Belichick knows that. That's why Belichick designs his teams to be able to shut other teams down when he runs this coverage, and that's what he was able to do, where it's man coverage. So all you have to do is have one of your receivers win a one-on-one matchup. However, Goff takes the snap, and Goff actually is even going to get outside the pocket and be able to scramble out a little bit. But you look right here, nobody is open at all. I mean, where do you want to throw here if you're Goff? I mean, again, maybe you could try to force something here, but really he shouldn't. I think Goff is actually going to do the right thing here. Look, Goff is going to try to scramble, pick up as many yards as he can. And I mean, let's just be honest. If you're a Patriots fan, you're saying, if Goff is running, we've done our job well. If we're getting Goff to try to pick up yards with his legs, we have successfully defended that play, and that's what they were doing consistently. Now we got to go to the interception. This is Jack Jones, who's really been, great so far. I mean, Jack Jones had a pick 6 against Aaron Rodgers, and now has the interception here. So, guys, not the biggest of guys, but listen, he's doing great. So here's the way this play works. It's going to be a zone coverage play, and it's a good scheme, to beat this type of concept. You have the one receiver who's lined up towards your offense's left, who's going to run a route to try to move in, try to get the safety and the corner to move in with him, because it's quarters coverage, so there's two guys deep there, the corner, of course, being Jack Jones. You then have a tight end who's going to swing over, try to get kind of, into the end zone, all the way over to the offense's left. Right when this play begins, it looks to be working as intended. I mean, you see right here, both players for New England are going in and covering the receiver, which for Jared Goff allows him to think, okay, that means that this play is working. I should get on to my next read. But here's the issue. One, I mean, Belichick just knows how Goff operates. We all saw in the Super Bowl when Belichick basically won that Super Bowl with his game plan against the Rams. That was, one of the best game plans of all time. But it's little things like this where, okay, if you're Jack Jones, you were, in the meetings where I'm sure the Patriots brought up, or maybe you figured it out yourself. I don't know, young player, so I don't know how much he's doing this on his own, but I'm sure some of it is. He at least can sit here and realize, okay, we don't need two guys to cover one Lion player. We can look around, see what's happening. If you look at Jared Goff, he is staring down his intended target. He is not even looking deep down the field anymore. So you can just read this play, understand that this is a good play to beat the concept you're in, and know that it might be coming. And if it is coming, the ball is probably going in your direction, so take advantage. Jones gets all the way over, and he is able to get that interception. So an incredible athletic play on top of it, but it was set up due to the good game plan and just being aware. Again, sometimes we think of scheme, we think of just X's and O's, but it's also just guys knowing what's going to be coming and all of that stuff, and guys being prepared. And there's a lot of things you can say about the Patriots, and a lot of things you can say about Bill Belichick, but one thing you can't say is that his players are unprepared. They are constantly prepared, and that's a great example. Now let's go over to this play, because one of the things you're probably wondering is, wait a second, if they're playing all this man coverage, why aren't teams just able to beat them? Like, why aren't they, especially a team like the Lions? I mean, you got TJ Hawkinson, you got Amon-Ra St. Brown. You shouldn't be having any issue whatsoever here. Well, the issue is that New England just, again, what they do is, and if you look at their secondary, they don't necessarily have, Jack Jones and Jonathan Jones have been playing like stars, when Jack Jones has been out there, and Jonathan Jones has been out there for all of it. But, even when you have kind of these other guys, like say a Kyle Duggar, for example, there's things he does well, there's things he, could improve upon. But one of the things that he can do well is something like this, where he can match up against a TJ Hawkinson here. The guy's 6'2", 220 pounds. So again, he's not TJ Hawkinson size, but he still has the ability to to match up against a bigger player. So watch how when this play begins, you're going to see Hawkinson's route. It is not really open because you have Duggar who can move with Hawkinson. Goff tries to make this throw anyways, has to put it too high to try to get over Duggar, ends up putting it higher than he wanted to. It falls incomplete. But again, this is just how Belichick runs his defense. It's why I'm such a big Bill Belichick fan. I mean, everyone is, right? Bill Belichick's amazing, but it's why I'm always so high on him, is because I think that he runs his defense the exact correct way that I would try to and probably fail to run a team if I was ever a GM. And now let's go over to that other guy, Amon-Ra St. Brown, who has been, lighting the world on fire so far through 4 weeks. He got shut down in this one. How did he get shut down so much? What happened here? Well, again, it's Patriots have guys who can match up against seemingly anybody. On this play, it's a weird one, though, because this is actually Jalen Mills who is going to be going up one-on-one against Amon-Ra St. Brown. Mills has not had a great season so far, but I actually think this is kind of an example of maybe where there is a flaw in Amon-Ra St. Brown. I like the guy. I think he's fantastic at what he can do, but he just isn't someone who you put to win on the outside in situations like this. And this is that's not really what he's for. That's why you went out and drafted Jameson Williams in the first round. He's supposed to be that outside receiver where Amon-Ra St. Brown can do a lot of the other stuff. He fits more of a Cooper Kupp type role than, the guy who just wins on the outside. And so as he tries to, win through the inside, it really looked like he was just trying to, be part of a pick play there almost more than anything, which is just, that's not using Amon-Ra St. Brown to the best of his abilities. Goff decides to throw it there anyways, and it falls incomplete. So it's like, listen, you're now being in a situation, if you're New England, where, your worst corner really, at least so far through 5 weeks, your worst corner is being able to shut down their best receiver. So now you can put your best corners on their next best players, which just means it's like impossible to do anything if you're the Lions. And like one last play, let's go over to this one. So again, kind of a similar thing. It's once again going to be one safety deep. It's man coverage, but now you can blitz, right? If no one's getting open, hey, send an extra guy in. See if you can get some pressure. See if you can get Goff to make a mistake. He's known for making a mistake. Look at how right when this play begins, you see how right here, again, no one's really getting open, and this time there is pressure. Goff tries to scramble out, and he ends up losing the football for a fumble returned for a touchdown. So, not ideal there by Jared Goff, I think is fair to say. But again, set up due to nobody getting open. So why were the Patriots able to shut down the Lions? They didn't give up anything. They didn't allow anyone to get open consistently throughout this game. So when you do that, you're going to have a pretty good time. The Patriots are figuring out exactly how to run this defense. Belichick's still, in the process of figuring it out. But, I think he's got it pretty figured out at this point. I mean, had some great games. Only gave up 20 to the Dolphins, which, when they were fully healthy, that's impressive. Only gave up 14 to the Steelers. Hey, it was Mitch Trubisky, whatever. But now shutting out the Lions, they were able to definitely slow down Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. The Ravens, they kind of got, knocked around a little bit. But that's also just Lamar being Lamar. So, and they're a very different team. So, as a whole, you got to look out for this Patriots defense. I really do think that. I think that, again, offense leaves some things to be desired, but I'm not counting out this Patriots team at all. But that's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. What are your thoughts on the Patriots defense? Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.